economic situation in South Sudan will never and will never improve. I promise you, from the analysis I've seen from the region, you've seen, for example, the example in Kenya, when Raila Odinga then began to form a reconciliation with the Uhuru Kenyatta and now William Ruto, that marriage of politics increased the economic gains within the country, and it's driven by devolution, it's driven by public finances, driven by past budgets, and driven by structures of government functioning. And I think that should be the spirit that the government of South Sudan need to make up by reaching out to stakeholders so that we begin to have a formidable public service that is united and driven by strategy of public finance, and we begin to see changes occurring. And with those changes occurring, we begin to see peace emerging in communities. This is the only way to go. And I'm urging the government to sort of really borrow some of these things that I just say for them to be able to succeed. So suffering with the people in South Sudan will reduce, poverty will then reduce, and misery will then reduce. Thank you so much.
That was Boboya James, a policy analyst, talking to radio this afternoon. And now, what do you have to say on this particular decision to have armed forces and personnel in remote areas receiving their pay in cash?
It's a Baghdad Diamond Weli Suma iRadio ala numra ta telefon 0911-986-986 au itapiga risala ala numra 0913-986-986.
Naam, marhaba fi barnamij wade zamana lazima na derasuma bardu minakze wizara mahalia wa wasad mugabila bitomon be rais gal gwa al-shab wa kamana nazbita الشغالين بالذات في محلات دلتا بيلغا بنك مافي من بيلغا مرتبات بتومون توالي بالخش في خطوة بالضبط تبقول شنو 09 وايد ولا 229 مانا لو تغاد بيشتغل بحكومة وايتا في خارية ولا في بوما توالي قروش بتاق بودي خشا ناسما من داي راديو. نعم تبقى رجع طبعا تبيلغا فيناس البقول مرتبات بتومون لو ماشي في بان لغو خاش بكون قوي وخلاص وزارة محلية لانو قرار ريتا بقول بيضاب شنو اي راديو.
مدرما جنس لينو.
ايوه جوزيف كواني.
ايوه كيف يا
ما بطال كيف قسم؟
والله ما بطال كالي بطاكي
والله ما بطال لا ليلة ربنا بارك انا
kita lihat aja orang sini orang kan kita kan jadi mereka bantah polis lah.
Nama kita sini ya, konyi.
Allah mereka baragu saya suka sini ini. Kita bandar lagi ya, lepas nas dia dengan orang orang kedua saat kita berdua nas, anda berdua nas otak, macam mana berjaru dapat menjebang oleh jatuh. Kalanta by Mati aja komul aja kombat dema aja so ajar mon na wayara ta amalia ni minister ta pana mana mele be aja ko ya je gade continue most especially the outside forces regarding the ayam the dema abu very na regarding very not easy to know that the pop in cash ida asanjato ina denu diun zaman moya majere mondeni akhir mondeni firus asan mon garte body na mondeni bini wala no tar mon sesar asagar ya no ban gardi del litera del zaman ta sodan ole palpen weda itna shawarana wala kanjel sarafu ta bayan su zahir to ya to kan galibo pora moya ni bada sarafu Madrama je ita kan mara su bejiri tawa bejiri wala hamil allo de ayum kage buza lagena sa zakar betana bezara pusuri ya be zahir sigme bi hi gadan mi ji pul liano ko kan je de guruzat al bija de ma ba gadda fa de no ya to ita bigo askeri bezara ko gurus yato yusa do mabzari giafa yusa do mabelama al bori galon di gudu yani jinto do di gogo o dafa fidi lakini zaman de kan yani kan moya taki kan na interin de ta bora salatia bodila salatia ina yo kamsa ta bodila ta bija dafa lakini sa ta biye kan moya de biya borte nikale giafa jer jer ajeze borte bodila group na ge nasa din de ya ne sometimes ya the group de ama bijal ke ahya lini ne biju mushkila yani jolan ita de no kan de yin so le su ita kan jara le yara sabana magana zara group sa de ni ne ti su di wodi de no on top so la kana zugu initiative ko wazara ta maliya mo ngambore da haja ko masal fi je medina je ta kono garin ti inside aga da fata on bangla ta kon ma garin se jaba lakin na far garin ti fere de la wana ko mahalla al fara min medina ero dum ka be fa mo gere ya mo kiriyaren al kan mo den no shukran
شكرا جزيلا أخونا جوزيف كوانيتا بيلقى سالة زولو في AC لكن جاب فادي لسه ظروف ده بخوننا سوا نمتا بقول شنو خلاص وزارة مالية لأنه قال ناس البيزات في قرية بيلقى قروش بتومون كاش ما قال مودو بتا بانك في خطوة ده بقول شنو بتاب راديو Yes. Welcome, Philip. How are you?
Fine.
Yes. What's your take on the decision taken by the Ministry of Finance?
This is good information. I hope it is really true that it's going to happen. So,
Philip? Radio? Radio. نعم فيليب بقول ده خبر الكويس لكن مشكلة حقه ما معروف حال تنفيذ بتو بعدين بكون في بتا خدمة ده نسمع من ده راديو. Radio?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Ustaz Albino here from Wow.
Welcome, Ustaz Albino.
I think even for us who are working with the government, the man of work, they are not even receiving now from the bank due to the lack of liquidity. So how sure that they are going to pay through the bank when there is no cash? And if there is cash, how are they going to do that? The government employees. So they cannot send us empty check. If they are sending empty check and they put it on the media, that means they are cheating us. And they need to be honest.
Now
no money we have to pay.
The decision now, Albino, is to have organized forces and personnel in remote areas receiving their that's a salary in cash, not bank. Yeah. So, what's your take on this decision?
It is not even necessary. They will not come with us. Seeing we have not received in town in the bank, how sure that this liquidity or cash will reach out to the village? This is not true. To request that statement and assure us on how the cash will come. Where are they going to get cash?
That's the question. Thank you. Thank you, Albino. Albino bugul nam lo bi theriga bita bank lisa nas magderelga gurush bito monte pasi logal gurush bidafau fi den bitanas uzara mahalia bielga gurush minwen. Hi radio.
Hi. Amula Ringo Mia Saba.
Marhaba Ringo.
Hi. Kalam kuis. Lakini swali bitara unis. Dia hatta zolde. Announcement wala ma announcement. Dia musu leo atasartalata wala sararba. Kandigo kili alagadi asabi. Yao khali mudi announce galo ya clearing off. Lakini leo atasartalata au sararba. Yao bila jamu nifoko announcement. And somebody worked for it. Kandiga khali gift. Umuna junsu shunu. Thank you.
Naam. Radio.
الو
ايوه
الو هاي راديو
نعم.
البرنامج جميل خالد.
ابدأ باسمك واتصل من وين؟
مع قرن تون نوي.
قدم.
طبعا انا بشوف انه دخلت كويس من قبل الحكومه، لكن التنفيذ هل قالوا ينفذوا كيف عشانهم يوصلوا النفس يخرج النفس ده يوصل به في الأرياف مدن الريفية أو لجيش هناك. هل بيشوف كلام ده يعني ما في كاش في المدينة، هل هيكون برضه هناك في الريف هيكون في كاش؟ اوكي نمرة اثنين هم ما يتوقفوا بيرسلوا ده كيف يعني الكاش بيقول هناك يعني هناك ما في شركات كبار عشان يقوموا يصدروا القروش كده. انا ما اعرف يعني ما اعرف كيف.
ما ده سبب قال خلاص ما في قروش بيمشي من بنك، بس الناس القاعدين في قرية لكن تواليتا بيلقى قروش بتاع كاش.
بتلقى كيف يعني برفعوا بنجيبها بتيارة ولا كيف؟
نفس النظام اليومات لو بصندوق ولا بتيارة ولا بعربات، ده السيستم الناس اللي في قرية قاعد بننزل فيه.
تمام.
خبر جميل. راديو.
راديو how are you?
تمام. community advisor من مدينبور.
Yes, you know my name very well and my location.
Welcome.
The topic is very good, and let me appreciate the minister, Athian. And Joseph usually talk about Athian to take over and everything will be okay. Now, Athian has come and announced that you will be receiving your cash and organized forces plus SPDF or SPUS to score those money up to the local areas. It is good. And where did they get money? Still, World Bank or Central Bank will have no cash. That's why you see a small bank were suffering. If they were not suffering and they were hired money, you mean that Minister Athian have a policy to let all the money which are circulating in South Sudan, they come when they came with. We mean that let me appreciate and let us see within these 2 to 3 years cash will be up and Athian will not say such a thing again. So now, let me appreciate, and that is a good idea by the way, and it will be covering civil and plus organized forces plus other people who are working with the government. And I know it was good when you will be receiving your cash on the telephone, according to the statement issued by Vice President Dr. Gormil.
And the announcement was made today, 24th. Yom Arba Shirinde Anafeso.
That is the same strategy, and it was working within only 4 months or 5 months, and it stopped. Now let this one work at least 6 months, and then I know very well cash will be over, and we will be waiting for cash. And let us know how much did they pay all along up to today. And if they know the fixed number which have been free up to today, and they will be controlled in which way. But it will be good for those people who are doing business here in South Sudan to take a new currency every year. To receive a new currency, and the old currency will be taken back to the central bank. It will be okay. Only numbers like dollar. Dollar can be used for at least 3 years, and you will be take those money back to the bank. And if it will left with you, it will be functionless, and it will not be good. So let the government of South Sudan do the same what yes, did. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Community Advisor. If in case you have just joined us, you're listening to the Sundown Show on iRadio with me, Madrama James, and we are talking about the payment of October 2025 salary for civil servants and organized forces. According to the press release, as of today, 24th October 2025, the Ministry of Finance have released or disbursed all salaries for spending agencies to their respective accounts ready for payment to civil servant, organizer forces and transfers to state and administrative areas. The minister further announced that organizer forces and civil servants, more especially in the remote areas, will be receiving their salaries in cash. We are seeking your thought on this. What's your take on it? Share your opinion via that our Facebook page or call us here live. iRadio. 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 Azei Mabululu.
Akuta tai.
Rukuba taiti hid.
Amin rabuna ulaita.
نعم رأي شنو زي ما بقولوا قال ناس الفخارية بقى قروض بتوم ولا مرتبان ما بيمشي بالبنك لكن بالقاش
بالصندوق الصندوق ما بودر فلوس هناك بعدين
بودر كيف؟
ما كان لقوا باشا بقول صندوق ده فرفوه قال ودو ما كان عشان كده انا ما اعرف ايه اجي اتوه بكون وين هسه زمان هون سودان ما هسه في البنك ده ما في لقوا هسه بيروح هناك بالصندوق ده ابو كيف انا ما قادر نفهم كلام ده كده هنا كده انه كده ما في طريقه ثانيه من جاء اخذ ابو جنوب اجي كلام ده نشوف تنفيذ اتوه بكون ابو كيف ده انا هسه في البنك ده انا ما عارفين اجي اتوه وين يلا بكون بشيل هناك ده انا ما اعرف بكون ابو كيف ما ثقه موجه ما معروف لكن كده ومن جاي يجرب بهذه الطريقه كمان لو دي طريقه كمان ده حل كمان مشكله ما بنين دارين حل اي زول يدو حل تاتو في زمن تاتو ويكون كامل كمان ما يكون بعدين يقولوا في حاجه من تاتو يقول في ناس ما لقوا تاتو من وصندوق شيلوه ده ما قدام في ناس ينتظر صندوق قال صندوق فات وين وما عارفين وقدر ماله نتمنى الكلام ده يكون في مال تاتو لكن ما معروف كده نبعينه بعدين لما نجي حقيقه
شكرا ايديو
Yes.
Aywa. Welcome on board, my brother. How are you?
I'm fine. And you?
I'm not complaining at all. Good to have you in the show.
Yeah, you're good to have me, but this story is very bad for us, especially me.
Mushkila when?
There's just so many figures with the bank, like in another of touch. And I'm in Charsaba. Guru ta sharsa ba na malaji to layasa ana malaji to guru shi guru zaman da guru gal guru da sarabu dan da mashet nazel guru gal yi ne lo fi gol ja ya multi ko fit to bai da shi kamsin lakin da bagari na mun sabale musa raza na sharma ba zol da ya multi ko fit inna gari mu dro wal yafi yala nazel baji le madaris primary school and secondary school there man buguli and guru bita nazel ma tagamu abande bita man bita da sasa operational cost. So let us wait for the customers, the traders who are coming to deposit. And it's a mabal gazol, yeah, the grush. So we end up as a kalazuga, we get up and we don't go. Nazel was at the Russell figures there, Nazudan, but the majority of us now we have given up, we don't go completely. And they have to revise this. They cannot just be sending money and figures the commercial banks, and they don't bring cash from central bank to central banks, because these people are complaining that they don't receive cash from central bank, and they are giving us their money, the money for their customers, which is not good. So they are almost now going broke because of this system of civil servants being paid in the commercial banks. This is the complaint that we have received.
Now,
you have seen the noise, yes.
Yeah, do you know what now? The Minister of Finance and Planning, Athian, Diing Athian, he has announced that the government has completed the payment of this civil servant salary. Meanwhile, armed forces and personnel in remote areas are set to receive their pay in cash, not bank. So this is a development we are talking about now.
I know the development. This is what I'm talking about now. Civil servants, I'm part of civil servants who are now going to receive their money in the bank here. But if tomorrow, on Monday, or maybe next week, if I go to the bank, I will not get the money because they only send the check, they give checks only. But when you go there, they will say the government or the Ministry of Finance or Central Bank, they did not bring cash for you as a civil servant to come and receive the year. We have been receiving our money for the last 3 or 4 months, and we have not been given cash. So we have run out of cash in our bank here. And the customers who used to bring their cash are now complaining that where is our money, because we used to deposit, and in case we have a problem, we have to come also and withdraw. Now they could not able to get their money because the civil servants are taking the money that is supposed to be given to the customers who are trading with the banks, commercial banks. So regarding this issue of army, I don't want to comment about it. They can at least, they will see how much they will take. But here it is impossible. We will not still get money. I'm demanding 4 months now. I need 4 months in the bank, but I'm not getting them. So what is the use of sending this money in the bank when the owner is not benefiting?
Thank you, Majong Sudan. Hope your message has reached to the concerned authority. Let me now take a quick break, and after that, when I come back, I will be turning my focus on to the messages. So far, so good. You have sent it via that's our Facebook page. It's now time for me to have a look at some of the messages you have sent here so far. One is coming in from Zeko Thonmaker. Is casting doubt about this announcement. Black Boy, thank you for sending in a message. And then another one from that's Ayok Bol Maniel, thank you also for saying hello. Athian Samson, welcome on board. Then we have Kuch is also casting a doubt about that cash at the moment. And away from that, we have Francis Chipak. Okay, thank you also for watching this show. We have Abu Joshua. Thank you as well for saying hello to the program. Keep those messages coming and let us know where you are sending in your message from, or you're watching this program. Wolakon Jam is saying the announcement usually that are without cash in hand shouldn't be accepted. Thank you for sharing your thought with us. Let's keep now the conversation going on 091122 986986. Uzara Mahlia Bugul مرتبات بزاد لناسال في بومات في بايامات في محلات المايندو بانكي بيشيلو بصندوق ولا بعربية ولا بشنو يمنون بيلقى طوالي في ايدين مباشرة. فقايت بقول شنو ديو مساء النور. مرحبا.
Yale kimata jumhuria ma NATO sa kudla badan kod ma government lakin da sitar kaman kalam kam kalamat zar ya ma mu meta to zar kike ke lanu bugula cash da fa o ina da cash accident ka ma wanda cash accident zar bugula cash ma fi yalla cash da fa na zai cash da bitayi ne zar ida da duwen zar ba shine for this police hour kapisa saenda gani kodi sigurize anto kasa bugulu cash mate de banki yala cash bodire ta gunta ma yala do cash ni ma santa sala na fi ya denumle ya kalama ka na salwa san ke da fam ti da to kan ko ke ran ti da ma fi cash yala be sala na cash ni nzado
naam yala ta maana be adoption min wizara mahalia
ya ko ida mahalia ta wana da ta mun ishtaka shi ko mun ma ya mun kan kelin kalam ka kun yani ngare ma kun yani na isu yani kalam be sai kida لازم كلام ده كان كلموه كده يكون بجديه
يكون بجديه ويجوا الناس دي لانه كلام كل يوم بيكلموه لكن ما في حاجه بيبينوا علامه كده بيكون بارز كده ما في كل يوم بيكلموه لكن علامه كده بارز بيكون ما في لا طبعا الناس يقولون كلام تقول كثير كم كلامات لكن ما في حاجه نتيجه كده الكلام قدام الناس حتى من انت حتى مليان الدنيا الشرقيه والتشاركات مثلا ما تقدر السنه الفايز ذاته يعني لسه ما كيمو كل هذا فهذا بس الكلام ده بس
يديك العافيه. هاي راديو هاي راديو هاي راديو
مساء الخير.
مساء النور.
كيف بيجي جيمس؟
عشان كراج ما مشكلة. كيف انت؟
ما بتعرف دين سانتو
مرحبا دين سانتو.
انت قلت قروش معلوم؟
بالذات ناس دين سانتو وباقي جمال في قرية رجال قروش بتمن ما باولو في بنك لكن توالي بودي مباشرة. انت بقول شنو في تنمية؟
والله المفروض يبدأوا طوالي بيجي بفوق بطيارة وبمشي مكاتب. ده كويس. ده لو بدأ الكلام ده معناته ما في مشكلة ثانية لأنه جان البنك ما فيه قروش. لو بقى يجيب قروش بتاعنا طوالي للمسالة ده بيكون مشكلة ما فيه.
نعم.
ما في مشكلة لكن هو ما ببدأ ده بيكون كلام بس.
طب أعرف كيف ما بيبدأ؟ طب أعرف كيف ما بيبدأ يا دين سانتو؟
أنا بعرف الآن أول حاجة الكلام بتاع السياسة 1% يا وسع. 1% في الكلام بتاع السياسة كله يا وسع. أنتوا كان ده تعمل ده أنتوا بتجيبوا قروش بقول قروش كشف في مكاتب ما بيصرفوا. لكن قبل أنتوا ما تجيبوا أنتوا بقولوا إنه روحوا قروش في مكاتب. كما كنا سبس.
نعم.
قول أنا وديت قروش. قول أنا وديت قروش مكاتب والناس صرفوا. أي زول صرف قروش بتاعه، كفيل صرف قروش بتاعه، موظف صرف قروش بتاعه، فراش صرف قروش بتاعه، ما في مشكلة الناس بيكونوا مبسوطين. يعني هو بعد كده نكون فرحانين لكن أنا بنودي قروش، نحن بنودي. ثم كلام ساكت، ثم كلام بتاع الطير في باقير بقول عرب. ده كلام بتاع الناس شبعانين.
نعم. شكرا وسعد مشاركة دين سانتو.
شكرا جزيلا.
نعم. في زمن بتاعنا يمشي توالي في خصلة تجارية لبداك لو أن نرجع نقدم بمناقشة.
في سنة 2025 سلطة إيرادات جنوب السودان بدأ فصل جديد في تاريخه الاقتصادي. قروش الليموت إيرادات الشهري كان مسهل وصل ل 130 مليار جنيه جنوب سوداني، ونجح ده برجال للتحول الإلكتروني أو الرقمي. برنامج المعروف بإي جوفمنت اللي كان عملوه في مستوى البلد كله في سنة 2021 الطوروا شغل الخدمة العامة البقى حديث وعززوا أنظمة بيانات وسيبوا لمتقروش إيرادات أسرع وآمن وأكثر شفافية. الليلة حالات فساد ناقصوا وكفاءة زيدوا وكل دفع أو تحويل الإلكتروني يشيلوا بلدنا أو أمتنا تجاه استقرار وازدهار لناس كله. سلطة الإيرادات جنوب السودان بينادي كل الهيئات الحكومية وشركات التنمية والمواطنين عشان هم بيستعجل وهم بيشتغل نحو التحول الإلكتروني الكامل. سوا من خلال التحول الإلكتروني والتعاون جنوب السودان بيقدم لقدام بيكون أقوى وأكثر شفافية وكمان أكثر اتحاد من أجل التقدم. سلطة الإيرادات في جنوب السودان رقمنة الإيرادات ودفع عجلة التنمية.
Like I promised earlier on before the commercial break that when we come back we shall keep the conversation going. Now share your opinion on the decision to have armed forces and personnel in remote areas receiving their pay in cash. Hi Radio.
Good evening, Madrama.
Good evening, Diing.
Asma.
Now.
We might have good Uncle Ding Santo, which I got in the Devon at the Saget.
دي أوسع لأنه أنا سؤالات نبتر عن نفسه منذ الحكومة منذ استغلال جنوب السودان كان نائب يشيلوك ودار مالي ونس لنا أتيانا دين أتيانا كان قبل كده وزير ما يكان بدي لنا كيف وما بيعرف أوكي ما يأكلوا قروش وزارة مالية بشانو قروش ده بدا في وزارة مالية هنا وما البلوم قروش ده بدا شانو باربات move away from means of finance through cars out to the remote area. Ma guru bedagal through bank. The zaman the guru bishi bedagal to bank with a central bank. And central bank will disburse all the finances to the branches of central bank across the state. And then the guru bedagal to state. Masalan fi wa wani guru tagrita bargazal fi central bank with awa. Obada guru bozu le guru akumia public banks, the Ivory Bank. Over that matter, the brigade, like not the Division 5, regarding Tiraja, Biji Bishil, Barbia, Biji Bishil, Grushum, Ivory Bank, the Tacha, the Sanadi, but that comes to Bozo, Asakirana, there's the Mandaku Dawal al Shahar. But Anwar, they should need to get who they're calling for, there is 5 for once a girl, they have what the Grush in the remote area, the cash. Manas al Kazal, they have the Tiran Shahar. Woman, the fruit bank. It's the same until even the system of Chakal, the means of finance, and then you come to the bank, you don't get your cash. They not sell because actually they have to come through bank. Mat trigger, girl with Malia, with Aramalia, believe Gurusi, Mushan Guruji Nafi, Duba, Barabat, Ubashan Guruja, Mapudi is sending us Al Halitabasan Guruja in Asman, with Arabta, the Mabo, the central bank. The white never mean the liquidity the woman will in Anama Barazato. And then the Salazir Al Bruce, Al May, Al Biji, Al Brosolu. Uncle Sandra, the sons of the Gubita, who can't them shy for a pen, Malga into good gun to Sharon, Lagus, Bukunjan, Mab, Tata, Soup, Asa, Bruce, Minister of I don't know how they are paying the salaries. By the way, I am confused. Girl, the Minister of Finance is paying figures to the bank. And bank will disperse the same figures to the branches. And the branches will disperse the same figures to commercial bank. Something. How could you? The send an account to them. It will majority of the account, but that comes to the them. Galaxy 2 million into my account. It's a more with it. Will they accept?
ما بقدر.
ما بيعمل نفسه. أنا ما بعرف إنه had the central bank, Sudan central bank, with the Ministry of Finance, because they are separate different institutions, by the way. أنا ما بعرف كيف إنه وزارة مالية البنك اللي يكون الفرق. بمشي للcentral bank, يقول للcentral bank, give the finances, give the salaries. What is نهاية للناس. ومن ما ودي catch the account ومن the Ministry of Finance say that the central bank would know now Ministry of Finance is paying the civil servants and this cash is particular cash amount of money to be given to the civil servant. How will the central bank I am urging this to let them make it clear because we are not children by the way. We can understand something here. Ministry of Finance into account without the central bank. Room loader here for Mahaya, they have to pay the cash to bank, such that bank have no deposit. Amalu, Minister of Finance, will deposit the account will deposit bitaman how much the servant. The same deposit will be taken to the bank. The same procedures. You know, to me, it a moral bank, nothing on the bank, but I want to guru. The bank with a already means of finance of food gurus. You more bank with a wow. Kaija but you know about the you to wow. Ubada, not the greater Bargazar will get the cash. Well, I said the liquidity, but Ministry of Finance and Central Bank let them tell us. What type of job is this? Either Bulgal and paying civil servants at the end of the day, no cash. How can Ministry of Finance pay people when they don't have cost? And the banky money, not cash. Can't around the Loma cash, but not Mahaya. It's a matter of fact, you have not given the Mahaya. From the day one, No one is even announcing that. So we cannot be hit. This, even I am urging this in this regard here. South Sudan, civil servant and civil society. We can even take people to court here because we have been cheated. South Sudan, and I meant to Guru, by the way, I'm telling you, I'm not a civil servant. I don't receive salaries from government. Lakini ukana na wallahi ya babadamu na baba black dude. Maafa sitabang tata. You can come up in the case against the central bank governor because you cannot play with the people's mind. Something fishy like this. I just want that they just girl Gurush mapi. Cash win. Raise the time after cash win. Otherwise, people are playing with us and with citizens, and even people are keeping the whole country, constitution. People are violating constitution in the broad daylight. People are violating constitution in the broad daylight. Finas, Junubin Musakabin, Malamin, Bala the Dustur Tajin Sudan, woman raised to Gale, Yahoo, Yarvia Haj. Lakin, they are shitting people. They are violating the rights of the South Sudanese citizens. They are violating the constitution. Because nowhere with our Mahalia, Mayatala, what did they use? This is my question. What did they use? And I'm telling you, Madrama, any journalist who is getting my voice, please, this question must be passed to them. How did they be able to discuss the salaries when there's no cut in bank? How did this question also to the central bank? How did they receive? What did they use to receive the cash from Minister of Finance through Minister of Finance account? How bank deputy Wizara Maliya Barao, Wizara Maliya man to account the central bank? Can women leave? They want to pay. They have to use Minister of Finance account to pay the citizen. This is something that we need to create. This country, they must fight for. Journalists, South Sudanese journalists, if you are keeping quiet, this politician will continue shitting us, will continue cheating citizens, and our journalists are fearing of their life. We must use whatever we can do to keep this country. Because if we don't ask questions, if we don't tell them, if we don't interrogate the politicians, they will not tell us what is reality. And the reality is been hitting. Hagiga, Kotoya, last part of the boat, Ugal, Enu, just be becoming barren. So the system with this kind of vote, as you muscle, Hajal fee, then Hajal fee, banky. Mas the group, Dogla, Wizara Maliya, term MC banky. Filalam Doku, Mas. They must go through banky, and from banky out the Shilu, Wadi. As that to put still, Guruja between central bank, the commercial bank, the commercial bank, looking brigade, brigade and Siraja. Brussels Guru Vita Munwa, but you said, Abu Sabuka Sarabat, put a piece of Sarabat Piraj. You could have Sarabat, Philip Sarabat, in the nearby planning, this is the soldiers. So, this is, let them bring the cash, let them bring out the money. This is what I am telling them, and stop leading the citizen. This question, this attitude of saying, we are going now to start giving the cash. Cash was already been there. People were giving cash. What was happening? I am needing journalists to interrogate this. Two different Minister of Finance and Central. Let them tell us the truth. What I am telling you, I'm advising journalists to go to these two institutions. Let them tell us what are they doing. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Diing, for raising that concern. And before we also give chance to our second last caller, it's high time from Boboya James. We now listen to the reaction of Edmond Yakani, who is the Executive Director of Civil Society Organization for that progress called SEPO.
My name is Edmond Yakani, Executive Director of SEPO. I would like to take this opportunity to appreciate the positive information that we have had from the Ministry of Finance and Planning that they have completed paying civil servant and soldiers salary through banking system for those who are in Juba, and for those civil servants and soldiers in an area where there's no banking system, they will be paid by cash. Our appeal to the Ministry of Finance, we hope that this payment is actual payment than what we have seen in the past, where soldiers were told and civil servants their salaries were paid, but when they went to their bank accounts, they couldn't get their salary for longer period of time. But also sometimes, even if the figures reflect in the accounts, the physical liquidity is not there. We hope that the civil servants and the soldiers will have access to their salaries. Those will be paid by cash. We hope to see them receiving their cash as quick as possible, because salary is a very essential right of any civil servant and soldiers. And we have seen the deteriorating economic situation where prices are very high. Families of civil servants and soldiers deserve to get services, as people are demanding salaries as their right. We know that the economic situation is pressing and disturbing. We hope that the information of Ministry of Finance is actual, is real. Thank you very much.
Edmond Yakani just responded to the announcement or decision taken by the Ministry of Finance to have that armed forces and personnel in remote areas receive their pay in cash. Two more lucky callers before we wind up this show. Second last one, iRadio.
Madrama James.
Yes, Joseph.
Good evening, my brother.
Good evening. How are you doing?
I'm okay, my brother.
Good to hear your voice.
I'm very happy on this topic.
Welcome.
Because when I see people or children of the employees that are suffering indeed, I'm always demanding government to appoint Honorable Diing Athian to the Minister of Finance or President. Why I'm always blaming these guys? When he's the Minister of Finance during 2020 to 2021, there's no arrears. He was paying monthly. And also was $9 from that period of year in one place. Dollar was not going up. That's why I'm always appreciating him.
Okay.
I'm always demanding government.
I understand. Over to this topic.
What I want to say now in this topic is the same government who are always claiming there's no cash. It is the same government who always saying we are going to pay people through banks. It is themselves who now declare to pay people in cash. What was there by them paying in cash? And that paying in cash, there were no arrears. People are claiming arrears now because if you send money to the bank and there's no liquidity in the bank, what do you mean you are paying people? You are giving people nothing because there's no money in the bank. You say your money are in account. So this is a good idea to giving person his money in his open window. Let cashier give money through a month. And if they got money, I want to give this recommendation to Honorable Athian. You are back to the Ministry of Finance and you are able to get cash to pay arrears. Will be part of your record in the Ministry of Finance. Pay arrears to the civil servants to close the gap. Those people are suffering all along and they are waiting just coming months you will be paid. Payment is not there and people are promising enmity. Enmity promising became rampant by the government themselves. 2 days ago, Commissioner General announced that we have 100 billion collected in 1 month. We have money. We have always questioned the Ministry of Finance where the money goes for. If you have money, if you know that people are suffering in the country, you have to pay arrears and you have to pay monthly. This is my recommendation to them.
Thank you. Man ودي فرصة بس لمخالمة يالا بدأنا بيجي في آخر مناقشة بتنا في الزمن بتاع جوزيف نسمع من the last call I radio.
Yeah,
أيوة. Good evening.
Mariel from War.
Yes, in 30 seconds, Mariel, what's your take?
Yeah, my take, I'm really forget the issue of finance because this is what we want as citizens. If it is continue like that, no cash, no salary, I think all employees will just migrate to other work, manual work. It's better to, because we are working to get something. This is not the time of liberation that we work in order to achieve what we want. But we work voluntarily last time to achieve the nation so that we can get our services and we get employed and paid. If we are employed and not paid, what does it mean?
Thank
So
you.
I'm really forget it. Yeah.
Thank you. Up to here, dear listener, we have come to the end of our conversation focusing on the announcement made by the Minister of Finance to pay personnel in remote areas in cash. Thank you for sharing all your opinion.